invested in money, then you're in the right place. Of course, you can be a part of this show live, 0809-191-3913. And of course, there's 0809-222-0913. Also, 0809-234-5913. And we're also on social media at Lagos Talks 913. And also, we are live on Zoom. Yes, you can be a virtual participant of the show on the internet right now. All you have to do, you can go to at Lagos Talks 913 or at Nairametrics, click on the link, and you will be transported directly into the studio. How about that? But of course, we have our money team in the building. Ugodre, Obichuku, Loretta, good morning to you both.
Morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Lagos.
Ugodre, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you, Sadiq?
Not bad, not bad. Just I can't see you. What's going on? Are you hiding? Yeah, what's happening?
The video is not coming on.
Anyways, we'll get that sorted out. But yes. Everyday money matters. Lots of very interesting questions. People are already sending things on social media. But there's one question I want to get into like right now, because I know a lot of people have been talking and asking about it. And it's this whole thing about shop rights. Yes, we heard in the news there's been a lot of conflicting stories, but I guess we'll get into that as the show goes on. Let's just start from the very beginning. You know what? Let's start from the beginning. First question. Or is there anything we'd like to discuss before we go into the first question, my people?
Let's go to the question. What has happened this week mostly has just been job right.
So let's get into the questions for the day. We'll go through them very quickly. Let's start with this one. It says, hi, Ugo, money team. Is there any rule or law prescribing the currency in which bonds are to be issued? I hear that there's a thing by CBN where you can only loan money in the same currency as your income. Is this true?
I want to think so, because I haven't actually seen any local company raising bonds in foreign. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. I know Nigeria raises more bonds in foreign currency, but not
companies in Nigeria,
because that would be a mismatch in terms of revenue stream, and that would be a huge strain on Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves.
Okay.
However, companies do borrow. In dollars. That's allowed.
Okay.
We've seen banks raise money in dollars. We've seen them raise. When I say raise money, either through subordinated debts or quasi-equity. Quasi-equity are debts that look like equity, right?
Okay.
So we've seen that happen, and we've also seen a lot of private organizations raise money via foreign exchange, but not via bonds, because bonds means that you are raising money from the public.
Okay.
Abide mostly, but it is thought that when you say you're offering a bond, the public can actually buy it so long as they can afford the minimum bond price and minimum quantity. So I haven't seen for Forex, and I want to believe that yes, that's likely the situation.
We have an attendee online that's asking, how about banks that raise money through Eurobonds?
That's what I'm saying. So not true. I don't know of any bank that has raised money through Eurobonds. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I can't recall. So what I know is that they do borrow. They can borrow in Forex, but I can't recall. Maybe my memory is
raising. Okay. We'll do that research, and I guess we'll get back. Right, moving on to the next question of the day. This is, don't see a name, but it says, hello, just read about the best performing ETF in the country from your sites. That's Nairametrics. How could one invest in this? What's ETF first? And just like the question asked, how can one invest?
So ETFs are exchange traded funds. And so just the same way you trade stocks on the stock exchange, you can trade some of this investment funds. So you kind of get the same advantage like you're having a mutual fund, because it's a pool of investments, geared towards investing in specific securities. And then you also have the advantage of it being, on an exchange. Yeah. Now for this question, I definitely know the ETF is talking about, but because we don't talk about specific ETFs here, I won't be able to explain. But if he has really read that, what I can say is that that specific fund is performing well because of the state of the economy right now. It's backed by an asset that is, happy when there's good news, pretty much. And when there's bad news,
when there's bad news. Okay.
When there's bad news, yeah. So if you really read it, you know what I'm talking about. How can invest in this? The article pretty much covered it. Just anything else, and I'll have to mention your name. Yeah.
But that's fine. Thank you so much. Moving on to another question.
Yeah, you can buy it. So to get it into ETFs, it's just the same way you trade stocks. So go to a stockbroker and ask that you buy. Liquidity might be a bit of a challenge, but you can buy from there, or you can also do through your own online stockbroking platforms. See there, and then you can buy. So
right, nice. Another interesting question says, "Hello Ugodre, trust you and yours are doing great. Please, was wondering if you know any fintech companies giving 15% yearly."
If I knew, would I tell you? There probably are a few. Not that I can mention names here.
Of course.
You see, the thing with yield is it's all about demand and supply. So when you have fintech companies that are aggressive and maybe looking to raise deposits, right, they can offer those kind of interest rates. But what you need to ask yourself as an investor is, in this market that we are in today, are there any investments where you can actually get 15% interest or get paid 20% interest? Are there any, right, in this market today? That's what you're going to ask yourself. So where are you going to put your money in where they'll pay you 20%? Where? Very rare. So the only way you can get that kind of investment is if that fund is investing in stocks, and you all know how what you need to ask yourself is, okay, this I can see somebody in one of the participants saying that invest in, I think he mentioned a fintech company. What you need to ask is, what did they say, as in the fintech company or companies, what did they say they're going to use that money for? They also tell you, we're going to pay you X amount of fixed deposit and we're going to use it for this. Now, the closest to what can give you a 15% return per annum or more would be micro lending, right? So they mobilize those deposits from you and can now lend to you and I at maybe 5% per month or 4% per month. And from what we gather, there are quite a lot of people borrowing money at the moment, Sadiq. I don't know if you're one of those people, but
no, not yet. Well, we're getting there. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I understand that. So people are really borrowing money. That's from the feelers we get from finance banks. So so that's it. So can you get 15%? Of course, yes. But like I said, we got to look at the return, the risk as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Loves risk.
I'm not on that list, thankfully. Right, moving on. Next question says, hi, Money Team. Can you explain what ShopRite exiting Nigeria will mean? Because I'm seeing conflicting reports. Now, are they even leaving or not? Is it a percentage of the company going? Is it a Nigerian company or a South African company? There's so much confusion. Please enlighten us.
Okay, so ShopRite is a South African company, and I think the frenzy is from the fact. Okay, what happened? Let's go to a little bit of background. What happened is that as a result of the border closure and all of the other policies that have kind of made things a little bit hard for even Nigerian businesses, they have not been making so much terms of profit, so they've been doing a little bit poorly. And
Yeah.
also Mr. Price earlier in the year noted that they were also leaving. So it's like, how many of these companies are leaving? What's going on? What's happening in Nigeria?
Yeah.
However, from what I understand, I'm sure we're still going to chip in here. ShopRite is divesting, so they are divesting from their Nigerian investments. And what this means is that if you have a lot of money and you want to buy, you can, invest. You can get. It's not as if they are carrying the building forever
and running away. But I mean, on the one hand, some might say, "Ooh, companies leaving. They're leaving because of AB." And on the other hand, people might say, "Look, this is an opportunity for Nigerians to step in and own it." So what are the real positives and negatives, if any?
Well, Sadiq, if I can step in here,
yeah,
I think there's just a lot of overreaction to this. Yeah, a whole lot of overreaction, and I think we just gotta, dial back a bit.
Yeah.
You read the news a lot, especially foreign news. You see that most of the companies that have gone bankrupt or that have gone out of business are companies that are in this retail space.
Exactly.
A lot of them, and you need to ask yourself why. And the reason is that they're in a very competitive space, right? Where margins are very low, and competition is very rife. So think about it, Sadiq. How often do you get up and just drive to the mall these days and maybe buy your groceries? You kind of go there on celebrated occasions, or maybe trying to do a number of things, and then you just buy up a few things. So there are markets everywhere. I mean, they're popping up everywhere, and they have pretty much, as much goods as the likes of ShopRite, and also with competitive prices. So if you're going to buy a tin of milk at, say, 1.5 around your area, and it's 1.450 in ShopRite, I mean, conventional wisdom is that you just go around your area and buy it. And a lot of these neighborhood supermarkets too,
buy the same thing,
offering similar kind of experience. Do you understand? And a lot of them now have like a mixed use facility, so you can go to a local Nigerian supermarket and you can buy shawarma there, you can buy food, you can have a drink. There's ice cream shops around there that you can use. Several things that you can do. Yeah, makeup. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm licking my fingers. I'm hungry. You just said shawarma.
You can do a lot of stuff, right, in there. So it's not very simple. And then globally as well, there's this discussion around malls still what they were. Like, malls, are they going to be as relevant as they were 10 years ago in the next 20 years, for example? Because these days a lot of shopping is online, so e-commerce is just everywhere. So I was on
exactly,
and I was saying that my wife, I saw her the other day, and she's not too interested in computers like that, but she was just, I saw her on a laptop and she was browsing. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, she's buying stuff. I'm like, what? And then she just mentions one random site that I never heard of before. I'm like, do you know them?
Wow.
And then she looks at me like, how do you think you've been eating since? Where do you think I've been getting
this?
I'm like, you mean they bring you here? She said, yes. Sadiq, I never heard of that. Never heard of that name. It's
for real, seriously.
E-commerce site, maybe owned by some guy. So what they do is that they go to maybe Mile 12
market. I know there are many of them.
And then they buy, and then they bring, and then so for meat,
at competitive prices,
the confectionaries, everything. So it's a very tough market, and that's what's going on. And I guess for the likes of ShopRite, who by the way, own 100% of the Nigerian entity, what they typically do is, sometimes when you get to your investment horizon, could be 20 years, 15 years, 12 years, you need to also assess what the next 10, 15 years will be like for you. This is the best time for you to exit, right? Yeah, because you probably made as much as you can, and the future of your prospects don't seem as good as what it is now. So you need to ask yourself, is this the right time, for me to want to exit? And then, but not to also, deny the fact that there are local challenges as well. They've had issues with their being able to repatriate their forex out of Nigeria. They convert to dollar. Also, the rand has also been under pressure. So the rand has been, it hasn't been strong recently, and unfortunately, the naira too hasn't been strong. Right. So yeah. So because what it means is that by the time you're converting to dollars and converting to rand,
And you're going to be losing money.
the differences along the
Yeah.
line. So if the naira was sort of stable and then they could get their access forex, then when they convert to dollars and convert to rand, if the rand value is lower, then maybe they can make a lot more money. So those are the challenges I have. And then of course there's this issue of border closure.
Yeah, movement of goods and all.
Government saying you can't import foreign goods that compete with Nigerian made goods. So that would also affect.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true.
Aisles, and then you're looking for things to buy. They can't stock up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Aisles like they typically would have stocked up, right? And that's because there are probably some things that they can't bring in. And what that means for them is that that's margin drop because they could sell a million things, stock up a million things and sell there, and they're only doing 500,000, for example. From on 500K. So that's basically it, Sadiq. But it's not a Nigerian, not necessarily.
Not a Nigerian thing. Because I mean, we're seeing similar things in the UK. A lot of high street shops are closing down, and it's for the same reason.
That's what usually happens. It's and Amazon is gobbling everybody. So Walmart, by the way, Walmart has gone fully online as well. So
wow, for real? Walmart.
Sorry, they still have their
shops.
But they also have a very strong online presence, right? And then even like some Targets, they also have Tesco. They have online.
Imagine. Who would have thought?
I mean, I don't know whether ShopRite has online store. I'm not aware of that.
I haven't. I'm not aware of that. Yeah, I don't know.
Online ShopRite buy stuff. You know what I mean? So these are just some of the things that
Very, very interesting. There's one question here I've seen on like 3 different platforms on social media. I have to take it. And it says, please remember to ask Ugodre and Nairametrics team about AdiFix investments. He says a lot of people are throwing their money into it and he wants to find out about it. Can we do this on air, or is that something he has to ask behind the scenes?
I guess that's a Loretta question, don't we?
Yeah, Loretta.
Can we take the question again? I wasn't sure.
Basically, it's from Chris, and he's saying he's asking about AdiFix investment, saying a lot of people are throwing their money into it, and he wants to find out more.
I have not heard about
AdiFix, right? Yeah, so I guess that's something you'll have to. We'll come back with an answer to that probably next week.
Be careful when you hear all these kind of names. Be careful.
Yeah. Don't just because a lot of people are going into it doesn't mean it's real, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've not heard of it from Nairametrics. Not something that we've heard of.
So just be cautious, please. Another question here says, how does CBN GSI for commercial banks affect me? So what's GSI?
Oh yeah. So what's the acronym again? I think it's Global Standard for. I remember. So GSI basically is this new CBN policy where if you borrow money from bank A, right, and you now don't pay, right?
Oh, I know this one. Yeah.
And then you now want to go to you have to now but you have money in bank B, right? So what will happen is the bank, all the bank needs to do is just apply through parent company, which is IBSS, and that's NIBS, and then they will just go to that your other account in that other bank
and just
so that's what I think is GSI's Global Standing Instruction or something like that. So
so if you're owing money in one bank, you can't say this is a different thing. I didn't trade with this one. Regardless, you will pay that money back. Very interesting. Yeah, sure. Amcon is really happy about that.
The whole idea is just for you to be able to, so that we can reduce loan losses, and that's the whole idea. So that's what it is. So if you're owing a bank and you don't want to pay and you've got money in another account, if you want to avoid still paying, maybe you want to put that money under your pillow or under your bed.
Or move out of Nigeria.
So long as in the financial space, they will go there.
It can be taken.
Money that is due, that has fallen due. So it can't be all. Let's say you're owing 1 million and you're supposed to pay 100K.
Yeah.
Right? It's the 100K they will go and collect, not.
Oh just basically what you owe.
Yes, you go and they'll go.
So what if you don't have the full amount? They'll just collect what's there then, and then wait for you to deposit.
And it's not tied to your BVN. So if you own Sadiq, you own Rentable, and maybe there's no money in Sadiq and Brothers, and Sadiq and Brothers is the ones that collected the loan, but there's money in Rentable, they just dip money. They can
go and collect.
Yeah, because the kind of like similar, you know what I mean? So it started, but we haven't really started getting feedback on how it's working or whether
okay.
But I guess in the next few months we'll start to learn more about how it's working.
It's very, very interesting. I'd like to keep an eye on that. Another interesting question here says, hello, Ugodre. I'm a fresh graduate with limited funds. Don't give him eye. He says, please, what's your advice on the best way to begin? I'd like to know about the authenticity of agro partnerships. I discovered they have 35% return on investment on short-term investments. I'd appreciate a response and a very great show for you today. Yeah, so I know you can't really give that kind of
question for her.
For behind the scenes.
Loretta, yes. What's next?
Okay, I'm a fresh graduate and I want to invest. How much do you have? Limited could be 500K, limited could be, 2 million, limited could be 30,000 naira. So we need to define that.
One of those, yeah. Okay.
So we also need to know your investment objective. So are you investing because when you are 70, you want to be able to retire, 70 is too late, 60, you want to retire and then save your money up to that point, and you want to save your funds? Or are you investing so that you can become a millionaire in 10 years? You need to define what you want, and then we can now determine the kind of investment, because you have a whole lot ahead of you. There's so much investing. But you just need to know exactly what you want, your risk threshold, just follow nairametrics. So I'll tell you more about that.
I get all that information. But at least I think I've heard about that particular thing. And if he's thinking to invest with 5K and 10K, it's not going to happen.
Actually, so if the follow-up question is tied to the first one, then yes, agro partnerships, you can invest. You can invest as much as, but like I said, 30,000 naira, depending on what you want. The way it works is, for a lot of them, you'd buy a plot of land. It could be somewhere in Ekiti, it could be anywhere, and get on such on what you have invested in, on the whatever was planted, maybe rice, sorghum, whatever.
Cocoa, or all this.
They tell you, okay, you bring 50,000 naira, buy a plot of land in this place, invest it, and then you get 35% on on your investment. While there, because first you need to determine which ones work, because as much as very good, they are good ones with proper track records. There are also some that are a little bit doubtful.
Yeah.
So we're about to start. I don't know. We're about to start a what's the word I'm looking for? AgriTech newsletter. Yes, so we can to explain each one of the investments and what they entail. But yes, if that's the kind of investment, your money is right for it.
Yeah, nice. You haven't given me ideas, so maybe I should look in that direction. Right, next question. Even though we're running out of time, we'll take this last one. It says, greetings. Thank you for financial literacy and the program. It is quite insightful and educative. Please, money team, why do federal governments borrow money, notwithstanding they have the power to print money via the CBN to meet the nation's financial challenges? Just thinking out loud, he says. So why don't we do like what America does and just print that money, since we're doing that?
And by the way, though, if one of the advantages you get by logging on to Zoom part of this show is that I get to answer your questions. So I'm answering a lot of questions.
Yes, behind the scenes.
Well, so why are we not printing money? Very good question.
Yeah.
Because you ask yourself, things are bad now. They say Nigeria does not have money. Just go and print it. You see, the US do that because the US has what is called the world reserve currency. So if you have that currency, that's the currency that every currency piggybacks on, so it's currency of currencies, right? The currency of currencies. Then it becomes very difficult for you to want to print money. So, and when you print money, remember that you're not only buying made in Nigeria goods, right? You're also buying goods that are imported. And the goods that you buy that are imported are paid with dollars. So are you going to pay them? Nobody's going to collect that. So the way that, you have to make money. So for every, time is running out. For every Naira that you print, there's got to be an equivalent of it in either dollars or in gold. That's why we can do it. But the US, they own the dollar, so they can always print. So that gives them a unique advantage. I think in one of these shows, maybe the next one, Sadiq, if you can remember, bring this. We're going to talk extensively on the US and dollar reserves, right? It's going to be that we should, we'll talk about. All right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Any final things to say to all those people interested in money matters?
All right. So as usual, great show. I really enjoyed the show a lot. If you want to be part of it, just tune into Lagos Talks 98.1 at any point in time, and you see that we're going to be on the show. And also, track again our Metrics social media handle for our Zoom link, and then you'll be part of this show, and you can ask me questions directly, and then we can answer. And who knows, we can even bring you on the show as well and be part of it.
Exactly.
See that you're a regular, participant, then we can bring you on the show as well, and you just have, feel the vibe and feel.
You can see my wonderful outfits and Ugodre, finally, without a suit. Hallelujah. But thank you so much, guys. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Loretta. Thank you, Ugodre. And thank you to all our virtual participants who logged on